Can you share some insights into the dedication of our team when it comes to keeping the lights on?
That is really when our team shines. I mean, our team does an amazing job day in and day out. But whenever the power goes out, our team pulls together no matter what's going on, no matter what the weather is. It can be, wind blowing, temperatures below zero, and our crew is out there doing what they have to do to make sure that the members have their power back on. Of course, there's always safety aspects, and I know people get frustrated about how long it takes, but our crews have to make sure that they're doing things safely.
Welcome to the Power Hour, the official podcast of Henry County REMC. Our cooperative proudly brings reliable, safe electricity to Henry and parts of Fayette, Rush, Hancock, Delaware, Madison, Randolph, and Wayne counties. We're more than just an electric co-op. We're a community-driven force, powered by the people we serve. People like you. Hello and welcome to the first episode of Henry County REMC's Power Hour podcast. I'm Andrea Melton. I am the manager of member engagement and communications here at Henry County REMC and also the host of this podcast, and we're really excited to be here with our very first episode. And I have with me today our very first guest. And of course, who better to be our first guest than our CEO, Melissa True. Hi, Melissa. How are you?
I'm great. How are you, Andrea?
I'm very good. And I'm really excited that you have agreed to be here with me today in my office recording this first episode and that we're getting this off the ground.
Absolutely.
So let's get started. Let's start talking a little bit about you, yourself, and your leadership here at the cooperative. So you've been with the co-op for, is it 18 years?
It is 18 years. It'll be 19 in December.
That is awesome. Can you take us back for a moment to how you got started here? What drew you in to our cooperative?
Really, it's a funny story. I had a friend reach out and tell me she needed my resume, and she would not tell me why. But she said, I need your resume and I need it today. And I trusted her enough to let her have my resume, and she submitted it for this position of a customer service representative at the time. So I started out in December of 2006 as a customer service representative in the front office.
That is awesome. And so what kind of roles did you have beyond that? How did you work your way up to CEO?
So I took advantage of the school reimbursement program here at Henry County REMC and decided to go back to school to get my accounting degree. And so I started with Ivy Tech to get my associates in accounting. And with that came an opportunity for me to move into the operations department to work with the operations in work orders and starting that process where you give the guys the paperwork and they go out and build the line. So I was entering all of that stuff into the computer and getting it ready. And then shortly after that, a position came open in the accounting department doing payroll and accounts payable. So I moved into that role, decided to go ahead and further my degree and work toward my bachelor's degree at that time. And a position came open in the front office as customer service and billing manager. So I moved into that role and decided that I really enjoyed that. I really loved working with the members, and that was really where I was happy. And then we had a conversation internally about, did I work toward my master's degree? And so I decided to start that process, and then COVID hit. And we decided to kind of take a step back. We were kind of doing budget cuts and looking at some things here internally to make sure that we weren't over our heads with COVID and not knowing what to expect. So I waited until after COVID kind of passed and started back to school to work on my master's degree. During that time, our CEO decided to leave. And so that position came open, and I was asked if I was going to apply internally for that position. And I decided that I was going to do that. I wanted to try to make a difference and an impact here. I was born and raised here in Henry County, so I really am passionate about the employees and the members and the co-op in general. So I felt like I might as well at least put my name in the hat and see what happens. So here I am.
It seemed to work out really well. So what did it mean for you when you got that news that you were going to be the new CEO? And what did it mean for you to step into that role? And what would you say has been the most rewarding part of that role so far?
Really, it was a shock. I did not expect it. Of course, the board of directors made the decision that they were going to do a nationwide search for that position. So they didn't want to just have somebody move into that role, which was great. Gave me the opportunity to go through the interview process and really show the board what I really wanted to have happen here and what I really had an interest in. And really that interest was with the employees and the membership. I really do feel like the employees here are family. They make an impact every day, and we're a small company, so we all kind of know what's going on in each other's lives and each other's business, which can be good and bad. But we're all here to support each other, and I feel like they really do a great job of giving back to the community, and that was important to me. I've come from roles in the past prior to being here at Henry County REMC that was important to me in making impacts in the community, and I wanted to see that continue here.
That kind of leads me into what I was going to ask next, which is, how would you describe your leadership style, and what values do you think are most important when it comes to leading the cooperative?
Family is definitely important. So I know that, they say nowadays you shouldn't consider your work people family, but really we are, in a way, a big family here, and everybody pitches in whenever they need something, even if it's outside of work. So I really appreciate that, and that's important to me. Also, community give back is important to me. I really want to see our employees doing things for the better of the communities that they live in, whether that's in Henry County or outside of Henry County. We do have a few employees who live outside of Henry County, but a lot of them do live in our service territories. So I want to see them make an impact in their communities, because that's important to continue to have our communities grow and thrive.
Absolutely. That's one thing I love about our cooperative, and I've only been here since November, but I absolutely already see and feel that family that exists, and I appreciate that community give back too. Our cooperative model is very unique. What would you say sets us apart from traditional utilities who are not cooperatives?
We want what's best for our members. Really, the larger utilities don't necessarily care about that person on the end of the line. We do care about that person on the end of the line, and I have watched our crews not want to go home to get the rest that they're required to get because they want to see that last person get their power back on. Or they will call and say, hey, Melissa, we've got this member who's really struggling, and we're out here maybe to disconnect their service today because they couldn't pay their bill. Is there something you can do to try to help them, because they really are having an issue right now? And that shows that our employees care. Our employees in the front office do everything they can to try to help those members and make sure that they have the best experience possible. We have a lot of new employees over the last 5 to 7 years, and they're all still learning, but they really do have a heart for our community and our members, and they really want to provide the best service possible.
Melissa, can you describe some of the key initiatives or improvements that the co-op has made in more recent years to better serve members?
Absolutely. We have taken a stance the last couple years. The board did a strategic plan session, and they looked at the survey that was done a couple years ago from our members. So our members, a certain number of people get an opportunity to do a survey, and it's a random survey. They contact certain members, and they get their feedback about how we're performing. And in that evaluation, communication came up from the membership, that they didn't feel like we were doing a great job communicating just various things to them in a timely manner. So the board has put that as one of our strategic initiatives. And we're working really hard to provide more means of communication, better communication, more timely communication, I guess would be the way that I would phrase that. So obviously you're in that role that you're helping with that project, and we're doing a lot of things. And one of those is we've kicked off a online email newsletter to our members. We have our monthly magazine that goes out in the mail to folks, and we really hope that they're reading that and getting the great information that's out there. And we're just trying different things, a lot more social media posts, those types of things to reach our memberships where they want to be reached. Everybody has a different way that they want to be contacted these days, and we're trying everything we can to do better at that.
Yes, we are. And that is what I'm here for. So hopefully the folks listening have noticed that. And I'll just throw in that if you ever have, if you are a member, you're listening, you ever have any ideas about how we could better communicate with you, feel free to reach out and let us know, because we definitely do want to do that. Many of our members, they don't really see all the behind the scenes work that goes into keeping the lights on. Can you share some insights into the dedication of our team when it comes to keeping the lights on?
That is really when our team shines. I mean, our team does an amazing job day in and day out, but whenever the power goes out, our team pulls together no matter what's going on, no matter what the weather is. It can be, wind blowing, temperatures below zero, and our crew is out there doing what they have to do to make sure that the members have their power back on. Of course, there's always safety aspects, and I know people get frustrated about how long it takes, but our crews have to make sure that they're doing things safely. And we have folks that will come in the office, or they'll even log onto their computers from home and be able to take calls from those members and let them know as much as we know. Sometimes we don't always know what the guys are dealing with out there on those lines, but we try to keep people informed. We do the social media post. Everybody is really pulling together and working. And sometimes that means we're pulling crews from other co-ops from across the state, from other states, and we're coordinating meals and housing for those folks that need to have a place to stay and be able to rest and get a shower and be able to do their next 16 hours of work. So there's a lot of coordination, a lot of efforts, and really it takes every one of us. I've told all of the employees a numerous number of times, it takes every person in this co-op to make those front doors open, and I sincerely mean that. It takes every one of us to do everything that we need to do day in and day out to provide the services for our membership.
Absolutely. Are there any exciting projects or initiatives on the horizon coming up in the future that members should be aware of?
We are working really hard to try to do more in-person events. That was another thing that came out of the survey. The members miss seeing us. So we have the meet and greet of the candidates coming up in May, and there'll be more information coming out in social media and the newsletter about that. But that's an opportunity for you to come in, talk to your board of directors, get a hot dog, just go around and see some of the different things that we do as a co-op, whether that's learn more about Operation Roundup or learn more about the capital credit process, just learn some safety items and bring your kids in and have them do an activity. So that's an opportunity for us. Last year, we did the electric car show, which was a big hit. We had a lot of people come in. We've got a lot of questions from our members about electric vehicles and what should they look for. And so we had that opportunity for people to come in. This year, we're going to do a seminar later in the year for solar. We've got a lot of members who want to research solar and know what they should or should not do if they put solar on their homes. So we're going to bring a panel of folks in that have solar, people who've had great experiences with their solar projects, people who have not had great experiences with their solar projects, but they can share with those members who are looking to maybe invest in that and learn more about what they need to ask for from their contractors if they're looking at solar. We really do want to educate our members and make sure that they're making the best decisions for themselves.
Absolutely. A lot of exciting things on the horizon that we are looking forward to. That's for sure. It's going to be a busy spring and summer.
Yes, absolutely.
Finally, Melissa, just one more question. What's one thing that you would love for every member to know about their co-op?
I would love for every member to know that we love our members. We really do care, and I know that folks get frustrated with us from time to time, and we do our best to make things right and respond quickly. But we really do care about our membership. We are not in this for the profit. We are a nonprofit organization, and we really are here to try to help the members the best that we can. So if you have questions or concerns, please reach out. The girls up at the front counter are great to get me an email or something telling me that you have a concern and that you would like to talk to me, or they will forward me your email if you've sent in an email. And I do my best to try to respond to those concerns and topics as we get them. So please just reach out and let us know what your concerns are. And we are glad to try to address those because we really do want our membership to know that we care about everything that provides their service to them.
Well, thank you so much. I know you are a very busy woman, and I appreciate you taking the time to come in. We could record this first episode of the podcast, do a nice overview, and this is going to be fun. And I'm so glad you were my first guest.
Absolutely. Thank you, Andrea.
Thanks. Have a great rest of the day.
All right. Thanks.
Now it's time for a segment we're going to call your REMC Wrap-Up. You're invited to join us this Friday, April 4th from 8 to 9 a.m. for an 811 training session in our community room. This session is open to the community and will be particularly valuable for homeowners, electric co-op staff, excavation contractors, septic system installers, communications company technicians, utility workers, public works employees, and really anyone interested in safe digging. No registration is necessary and coffee and donuts will be provided. An important note, our office will be closed Friday, April 18th, in observance of Good Friday. We'd like to take a moment to highlight the Operation Roundup program and ask you to consider opting in to this awesome initiative that gives back to our community. Each month, participating co-op members allow HCREMC to round up their electric bills to the next whole dollar. For example, a bill for $100.75 would be rounded up to $101, and the remaining quarter would be donated to the program. Operation Roundup grants are distributed to local charitable organizations from that fund. An external committee oversees the program and reviews the grant applications 4 times a year. The impact of the Operation Roundup grants is tremendous. So, if this is something you'd like to do, contribute a little change each month to create some big change. Please give us a call at 1-800-248-8413 and just let one of our MSRs know that you would like to opt in to Operation Roundup. And that wraps up the first episode of the podcast. Thank you so much for joining us for the Power Hour with Henry County REMC, where we don't just provide power, we empower.